When it comes to bush planes, this might be the perfect bush plane at an affordable price also. So it's the Arrows RC Bigfoot. And before I just talk some more about this one, let's go outside and get this one flying. It's a nice day today, just a slight breeze, some minor gusts. I'm doing this flight on a 4S 2200. And as I've swapped the speed controller inside to an Avian 45 amp, I can easily do 4S. And what I like about this Bigfoot is most of that it's so agile, and you don't have to wait for the RC airplane to do anything. You can more or less just go around. You don't have to be afraid of running out of control on any surface really. It's just a truly well-behaved RC airplane. And still it is kind of a high wing trainer style like bush plane. And so I think it's fantastic to have something that is on the other hand really agile, and then on the other side just a bush plane and a trainer style which you can fly really easy. And I could argue that regardless if you just then become an expert pilot in flying RC airplanes, I think you can enjoy an RC airplane like this for, as long as you fly RC airplanes. Because you don't have to really worry about when you're about to land. You have this great gear stand which just can take grass operations really well. And at the same time you have visible, a really good size on this RC airplane. And you have, on top of that, you have the agility. You also have the features with LED lights, with flaps. It's a really easy build on this RC airplane. And just looking at, the competition, I don't think that E-flite have any RC airplane that can compete with this Arrows Bigfoot. Really, okay, they have the Timbers, but the Timbers are chunky RC airplanes. They are more expensive and a little bit more complicated. This one just super simple, and yet it's able to do almost whatever you do. If you just want to go have a nice slowing with some touch and goes like this, it's really easy. When you power, just push it and it jumps up in the air. It never bites you, this RC airplane. It's very forgiving also. It's a really large wing surface, so the lift is great. So, I'm just goofing around with this Bigfoot because I'm so comfortable flying this one. I'm not sure how many flights I've done, but it is just a bunch of flights. Just look at the roll. It's so nice to see this one roll. It's so easy, and if you just want to flip it inverted, it's just like flying in the normal direction. You surely just goof around even inverted and it doesn't get squirrely. I'm pushing maybe like 70% throttle. So, just aerobatic moves is really simple with this RC airplane. I will surely, if I would somehow just break this Bigfoot, I will just purchase another one. And if I only could keep one bush plane, chances are I would pick this one. It's also that you have the FMS the FMS Ranger 1.2 then, which is kind of similar in the Cessna 150 design style. And I think the Ranger then is it's a really well-behaved RC airplane, lightweight. It is speedy when you want it, but it's not as agile as this one, even if you increase the rate, because the aileron surface is less. You don't have flaps then and no LED light, so I mean, even though I like the Ranger, I think this one is a better RC airplane. And you also have the FMS Super Cub 1.3, which is a similar sight, does feature LED lights and flaps as well. But the LED lights and flaps on the Bigfoot works much better. I think the LED lights looks better. Yeah, this nose light also. And the flaps make this one fly slower. I don't think that... I mean, this is more forgiving also when you fly it. It doesn't really bite you. Like all Cubs with the rounded wingtips, then they can just drop if you if you do some stupid things. But this one is very forgiving. So I'm flying really super tight today, and we could never do this with something like the Turbo Timber Revolution because it's just too chunky. So when I pushed it to 100%, I had like the first avian warning, but then I really have to push it 100%. As you can see, I'm flying tight and gliding with flaps. Difficult to pinpoint anything negative about this RC airplane. And I only had a telemetry warning then from low battery when I pushed this 100%. So unless I push it 100%, I rarely get any warning. So I think the power system then and the prop is really efficient, well suited for this RC airplane. And although I call for like Metal Gear servos on all RC airplane, which this one doesn't have, I had no problems with the servos. So fingers crossed they will last. You see, you can really do stupid flying with this one and it won't bite you. Okay, I think it's enough fun for one day. What makes this one so great, I think, it is first of the features: flaps, LED lights, large bush wheels. It's a simple build. It's supposed to run on 3S battery. I usually just put a 4S battery to have the more power when I need it. But this is a really agile and fun aerobatic RC airplane, and you still can just tone it down and do nice bush flying. And I mean, I have no problems with the landing gears. I think the wheels works just fine as is, even though they are quite stiff. I think it's an efficient RC airplane. So you can do quite long flight time of like 6 minutes, and really easy built on this RC airplane. And I think the LED lights, just in comparison then to some other RC airplane that just make, you have LED lights and then nothing special to it. I think it's great that this one, it does have the usual red and green light on the wingtip, which are flashing. And then you have this wing light also, which kind of a Cessna 150 light. And then you also have a nose light. So the only light missing would be a tail light then. But I mean, I think it just looks fantastic when it's flying, and it's so fun. And really, although I mean a little bit weight to it, I think it's when it handles in the air, it's a lightweight. It just feels lightweight when you fly it. It's a thick wing cord, a really huge wing on this RC airplane, great wing surface, and thankfully just a top feeder. So you have this hatch, which can be a little bit difficult just to get open. And I have an Avian 45 amp speed control in mind and just have full telemetry. And I just ripped this Velcro strap and just have a Velcro strip, so I can just put a battery on this one. So it's battery change is really simple. And overall, I mean, it's difficult to find anything wrong with this RC airplane because it is more or less just my favorite bush plane to fly, as I like to fly them really agile and tight aerobatics, or just do touch and goes and slower with flaps, and even in kind of poor light. it's just a fantastically visible Lars airplane. So it's difficult to recommend any other bush plane in this size over this one, because this one just fantastic.